Good morning, ma'am. My name is Aldrin Dave Diacinto of 33-A1-8, and this is my final laboratory exercise and examination, paint analysis, and the lesson objectives are: define paint, differentiate physical and chemical features of paint. On my presentation, I will discuss also the nature, purposes, and types of paint, the physical and chemical features of paint, the methods of collection of paint, evidence for question sample and non-samples, the importance, value of paint analysis in criminal investigation. What is paint? Paint is found on the surface of many things. Through examination of paint obtained at the scene of a crime, a link could be made between people, places, and objects. The examination of paint usually involves the comparison of paint from the crime scene with a sample of the paint that has been taken from a known source. In addition to oil-based and water-based paints, there are also different shades of paint. In other words, paints comes in a different level of shyness or gloss. On one end, you have paint shades that are not glossy. They'll be called things like flat, matte, eggshell, and satin. And the paint contents. The paint contents are solvent, liquid additives, binder solvent, binder solids, and pigments. And the components of paints are pigment, solvent, liquid additive, binder solvent, and binder solids. Paints are characterized by several physical and chemical characteristics. Physical characteristics may include color, layer sequence, layer thickness, surface features, layer features, contaminants, and weathering. Chemical components may include pigments, polymers, and additives. Physical are characteristics of substances that can be observed without changing it into another substance. For examples, melting paint, hardness, odor, malleability, and denalty. Chemical, a characteristic of a substances that describe its ability to change into different substances. For examples, reactivity, oxidation, and flammability. In order to collect and preserve paint evidence, it is important to start with securing the scene of the crime. All paint samples should be kept in separate containers. If paint evidence found in clothing, it should be removed. Rather, the clothing should be rolled up in paper and sent to the lab. In question samples should include all loose or transfer paint materials. Sources of question samples can include tools, floors, walls, glass, fragments, hair, fingernails, roadways, adjacent structure, transfer or smear on vehicle, or transfer to or from individual such as damaged fabric with paint inclusion. In known samples, when feasible, known paint sample must be collected from areas as close as possible to, but not within, the point or points of damage of transfer. These damaged areas are usually not suitable sources of known samples. Paint chips or remnants can reveal to a significant amount of information during forensic investigation. Paint that is located at a crime scene is referred to as trace evidence because it has been transferred from a main source to the scene of a crime. If paint is found on the clothing preserved in the paper.